All right, so you want to dive into this Kendrick Lamar "Not Like Us" thing, huh? This DigiWax article you sent.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, right? It's like everywhere I turn, somebody's mentioning this song.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. Kind of busted out of the usual hip hop sphere.
Seriously. TikTok dances, middle school proms, even the weatherman's throwing out lyrics. Got to be something universally relatable about it, you know? What do you think made this song blow up like this?
Well, you got to look at the whole picture, right? When it dropped, it was right in the middle of this whole Kendrick and Drake thing.
The infamous hip hop beef. So what, like a history between these two?
Oh yeah, they've got a past. Both heavy hitters, at the top of their game. There'd been this like underlying tension for years, little jabs here and there in their lyrics.
Subliminal disses and all that.
Exactly. But then things kind of escalated. Straight up diss tracks back and forth.
And this is Kendrick's shot fired back. No wonder everybody was tuned in. Like the whole music world's watching this lyrical boxing match.
You got it. People love a good rivalry. Especially when it's titans clashing like this.
It's like we all want to see who comes out on top. Speaking of which, the Digiwax author at first seemed to be Team Drake, even called one of his tracks the best. Then, Not Like Us drops and changes the game.
He admits he underestimated it, which is interesting. Shows how fast public opinion can shift, huh?
Yeah.
Especially these days. Lucky for us, he breaks down why he thinks Not Like Us hit so hard. Gives us a good roadmap for this deep dive. So the music itself. He mentions DJ Mustard's influence. Can you talk about his sound a bit? What makes it work, especially for a diss track?
Funny you mentioned that because honestly, before this, I didn't really connect DJ Mustard to this kind of music. But the second you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that sound. It's everywhere.
Right. He's kind of the king of that modern West Coast sound, right?
Mm.
Got those G-funk roots, big bass melodic samples, that laid-back groove, but blended with like modern trap elements, just infectious energy, impossible not to move to, which for a diss track, I think just makes the aggression that much more seductive.
It's like you're bobbing your head while he's dropping bombs in the lyrics. Speaking of, the article mentions some seriously smart wordplay here, those references especially.
Yeah, the author calls it genius, actually, like
Oh.
the way Kendrick brings in Karl Malone, Tekashi 69, even Bill Cosby.
Yeah, those definitely stood out. I got in it though. I didn't quite catch why those figures, like why they hit so hard, you know?
See, that's Kendrick for you. Always layers. These figures, they've all been, well, let's just say they've had their controversies, right? Especially when it comes to how they treat women.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see where this is going.
He's not outright accusing Drake of anything. But by putting those names in there, it's like he's creating this implication. Makes you question the company you keep, the values that come with that. Masterful, really.
Subtle but so effective. More like planting seeds of doubt than straight up insults. And then there's that line about the Bible. Almost sacrilegious, but damn also kind of genius.
Right. That if God was watching line. Classic Kendrick. Provocative, gets you thinking, a little bit dangerous even.
It's like he's saying what some people might think but are too afraid to say.
Totally. He's playing with this idea of divine justice, like are there consequences for our actions? Big theme in his music, actually.
He takes on this almost like prophet role, doesn't he?
Right.
Questioning things, making us look in the mirror.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to push those buttons. That's part of what makes him so interesting, right? And then you put those lyrics on top of a beat that's basically made for summer parties.
Ah, right. The timing. Never really thought about how much the release date matters. But the article makes a good point about summer.
Think about it. Summer's all about being out, parties, everyone's blasting music. And a song like this, catchy as hell, lyrics you can quote instantly, it was going to be everywhere.
Like it weaseled its way into everyone's summer, whether they meant to listen or not. And then you layer on that whole West Coast angle. Uniting the gangs at his concert, like the article said, that's another level of impact.
Absolutely. Kendrick's from Compton, a place kind of synonymous with gang violence, right? Yeah. For him to use his position to bring people together like that. Bridging those divides, celebrating where they're from. It's a powerful statement. Goes beyond just the music, speaks to his influence, his understanding of what really matters. Bigger than a song, bigger than some rivalry. Makes you think of that Thanos comparison the author made. Kendrick, his Thanos, wiping Drake off the hip-hop map. A little extreme, maybe? Yeah, Exile's probably a tad dramatic. Drake's career didn't exactly end, right? Dude's still topping charts, selling out shows.
Yeah, he's doing all right for himself.
Exactly. But, it definitely changed the conversation around him. This rivalry, not like us especially, it challenged his whole thing. Exposed some weaknesses, maybe.
Forced him to step up his game, maybe?
Something like that. Shows how much weight a single song can carry these days.